Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the secrets, fears and ghosts for those of you who have Neptune in your 12th house, and also for those of you who have Pisces ruling your 12th house within your natal birth chart. But before we do get into this, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And just one more thing to mention, if you would like to know more information all about your Neptune sign, your Neptune house, along with your Pisces house and your 12th house within your natal birth chart, then I have created a Pisces season/archetype ebook. So what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today if you would like. Alright, so with all those introductions out of the way, Neptune in the 12th house and Pisces ruling the 12th house individuals, let's do this. Okay, so if you have Neptune in your 12th house or Pisces ruling your 12th, then what this suggests is that you're someone who really does desire your time in solitude. Someone who consistently feels the need to switch off and escape the outside world. See, it's you who is highly susceptible and sensitive to all types of energies going on around you. Whether that be the emotions that you pick up from your family or friends, for example, or whether that be the information that you hear on the news or on the media, or whether that be the sounds or the airwaves or the frequencies from radios and music and even microwaves and fridges and cookers and any other electrical appliances. Because it's you essentially, Neptune in the 12th, Pisces ruling the 12th, who finds yourself so easily plugged into it all. Now, you might not be aware that this is even happening. We usually don't when it comes to Neptune or the 12th house, due to how they do represent the unconscious, what's hidden. And because of how you are not overly aware, this may make things a little bit tricky or difficult to handle on your part. So for example, you might suddenly become flooded with emotion, drowning and just overwhelmed with emotion out of nowhere, and you might not understand why. It can be hard for you to trace it back or make sense of your inner world in that regard. Perhaps sometimes you feel as if you're going crazy or mad due to how overwhelmed you can become. Could also possibly lead you into spells of paranoia even, where you don't know who to trust. Maybe it even gets to some stages where you hear voices or you start seeing certain images that you believe to be there. Now, before I make it seem like I'm trying to diagnose you with some sort of psychosis or a mental disorder, which I'm not, the point I'm trying to convey is that perhaps you are hypersensitive towards all the stimuli going on, whether that stimuli be seen or unseen, right? Whether it be sort of out there in the open or quite hidden. You sort of tap into all of these frequencies whereby which they may go completely over somebody else's head, but to you, they feel very much real due to how you feel them. I mean, you could be having an argument with somebody else, a loved one in particular, and what you may do is you take the words that that individual said and you may take it all very, very personally, possibly even resulting in you feeling paralyzed or feeling highly directionless. Like, where do I go from here? What do I do about this? This could be the smallest, tiniest comment that they say, which is enough to set you into a whirlpool of inner chaos. Then again, this even could be a situation where you start to help out your loved ones. You start to do their laundry, you cook for them, you help them with their homework, if you have any kids, you drive them to places that they want you to take them to. You're just doing a lot for the ones that you love. But then you end up just exhausted, feeling absolutely worn out from all the tasks that you just performed. And when you get to this point, you may be highly irritable. Next thing, your spouse, your friends, or your child is asking you for a favor and you just want to explode. So due to these reasons, you get to stages where you desperately need to be locked away from others. You need that time in solitude. Though naturally, this can be really hard, especially if you have a family to attend to, for example, or if you have a career that is very demanding. Though on the other hand, there is a possibility here that you can spend boundless, endless amounts of time alone. So much so that you may even avoid your duties and other responsibilities. Perhaps you also engage in taking medication to help you through such a process, or perhaps getting high is something that can help you feel more at ease, whether that be getting high from either illegal or legal drugs. And whilst yes, I have stated that I am not here to diagnose you, it can also be suggested that you have, throughout your life, made quite a few hospital calls, possibly due to your mental health. And there's also a possibility of you making calls to prisons. This could be, for example, your loved ones being in and out of prison, such as you growing up whilst one of your parents was in prison, or this could very well be you having to go to prison yourself. Maybe you've even been arrested before for something that wasn't your fault, or maybe you come from a family where stuff like this was kind of the norm. Maybe there was a lot of hiding and mysterious events happening around you that you were oblivious towards physically, whilst at the same time feeling like something was going on. Or perhaps you were forced to hide very private information so that other people's false images and perceptions were not broken. So if this was the case, maybe you grew up surrounded by lies, deception, dishonesty, or maybe you were also encouraged to hide your own feelings, hide your hypersensitivity very, very early on due to other people's inner fears and phobias. Perhaps it's you even who has unknowingly carried all of this unnecessary baggage with you, the type of karma that's piled up for years, maybe even decades possibly, but yet you can't say a single word about it, because if you do, it may ruin the lives of your loved ones, or maybe because of you fearing how other people will judge you, how they will see you. What will they think of me, you might say to yourself deep down inside, or will their perception of me change when they find out the truth? And if it was that you felt like you had no other choice than to hide your sensitivities and your emotions, is it possible here, Neptune in the 12th house, Pisces ruling the 12th house, that these actions are the reason or part of the reason for why you find it so hard to pinpoint how you truly feel in association with the energies as mentioned earlier? Because it seems to me like you weren't taught how to accept your inner world, so to speak, or how to embrace authentic emotion, or how to allow your emotions to flow through your body naturally, or even how to differentiate between your emotions and other people's emotions. After all, everyone else around you was projecting all of their inner stuff, shit, onto you or onto others. And so essentially, everybody needed your devoted assistance. And Even if it wasn't from other people directly doing this, perhaps it was the disappearance of someone that you even regret losing. Perhaps the loss of this individual resulted in these inner phobias and all these inner fears. Perhaps the spirit of this individual remains with you, or maybe you unknowingly try to make up for all the time lost by living through their spirit, so to speak. Whether this person be dead or alive, perhaps maybe even you dream of the day that you'll be reunited with them. Then again, maybe there's a part of you that feels lost within yourself, as if there's a piece of you that's missing, or as if you were misguided by those who were supposed to guide you the most. Or you know what? Maybe for you, you've turned to God, or you have turned to God, to a higher power for that guidance. Because as the world gave up on you, you find yourself in the arms of something much greater, much wiser, and much more freeing. The type of presence that you can confide in at any time, no matter what. So in this respect, perhaps you're a highly spiritual person or a highly religious person, someone who sticks to your spiritual and or religious ideals, no matter how much you're tested or pushed. It could even be suggested that you lose yourself in the process of all of this. And so you may even live your life through God's commands and God's rules unknowingly, where you use yourself as a vessel for that godlike figure to come through. Then again, maybe holding onto a dream is actually what helps you through, along with your fantasies, suggesting that you're a dreamer. Neptune in the 12th house, Pisces ruling the 12th, someone who loves to escape into a world of make-believe and wonder. Though having said that, perhaps this isn't really something that was encouraged whilst you were growing up. But yet, it's something that you've felt wholeheartedly throughout your life, so it's more of an inner thing. And the same could be said when it comes to any psychic abilities that you have that you're maybe not aware of. But you still somehow manage to feel the presence of such hidden gifts. Though, on a much more positive note, I think that when you are alone in your solitude, away from the noise and the hustle, that's when this deeply sensitive soul truly shines. Maybe you start to write in your journal, or you write letters, or love poems, or just poetry overall. Or maybe you start to listen to romantic music that moves you, or maybe you start to reflect on blissful and heartfelt experiences, or perhaps you start watching movies, documentaries, television shows that activate your love for anything miraculous or magical. You might even dance in a way that is somewhat smooth and just free-flowing, where you really let go. The type of dancing that really comes from your heart and your soul. The type of dancing that probably would never make it onto public platforms due to how personal and intimate they are to you. And also possibly because no one else gets to see it the way you feel it. Now, another thing that I want to mention is in association with hospitals. So touching on the whole mental health earlier, but maybe you've been in and out of hospital due to a loved one of yours actually being sick. It could even very well be that your mother was quite ill while she was pregnant with you for reasons other than just pregnancy symptoms. Perhaps your mother even struggled with mental illness herself, or certain mental conditions run in your family line and they trace back. Though still, perhaps you've often sacrificed your own personal needs and possibly even your health in order to be there for a loved one. It could even very well be that it was your mother who sacrificed a lot for you, and maybe you then live with that unconscious burden of how she sacrificed herself for you and therefore you should sacrifice yourself for other people maybe. Or maybe anytime someone else is in pain or they're suffering, you feel like it's your job to step in and save them. Though saying, as I did mention romance earlier for a quick moment, well, perhaps you're a secret, hopeless romantic, Neptune in the 12th house, Pisces in the 12th house, though maybe you don't let on. Maybe the same can be said for times that you feel lost or out of touch or directionless, whereby which you don't want others to see these sides of you, these parts of you, these very like gushy, sensitive, soft, loving, and vulnerable sides of you. After all, it's you who has had to keep yourself together for everybody else around you. And this leads me on to the final point that I want to make here, and that's to do with the whole serve/suffer concept that comes with the 12th house and Neptune. So in your case, Neptune in the 12th, Pisces ruling the 12th, you're learning how to sort of surrender or serve these things over. So sensitivities, the dreams that you have, the compassion, the spirituality, anything that basically you've hidden in association with what I've said today. By recognizing that these qualities aren't what solely belong to you or anybody else, but they can be shared with everyone and everything. Either that, or you suffer by falling victim to others who display these things. And I think that by you sort of integrating these things, not only will your emotional intelligence come through more authentically, but I also think that your intuition will be a lot more clearer. I think this will give you better insight into your own inner world and being able to listen to that inner world and accepting its guidance. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the sacred spheres and ghosts for those of you who have Neptune in your 12th house, and also for those of you who have Pisces ruling your 12th house within your natal birth chart. Now, if you do happen to have any of these placements, let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button, and also make sure to give this video a like. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!